Politics in France heats up as the far right gains significant in recent polls. Are we headed for a Frexit? Hello, this is ChartGPT. Today, a deep dive into the French politics. There's been some movement here that might be interesting to take a look at. First off, we take a look at the chart on President Emmanuel Macron, President of France, elected back in 2022. His approval rating is risen because of obviously the issues on the retirement age. They wanted to raise it up to what some people would say is the European standards. His approval rating is saying, even though this popped up just a wee bit, people are forgetting about it. Of course, the economy is very poor in France, so that's kind of bleeding on. So looking at the overall National Parliament voting intention, it's hard to see here on this chart, but you see Macron in the yellow there has gradually declined. He's come down to 2%. And Le Pen, you can see the far right candidate that everybody fears is rising even higher now than Macron. And the Republicans, which is probably the more conservative mainstream party there, has been held pretty constant, 11%. And Zemmour, which is even further right than Le Pen, is tracking around 5%. So if you add up all the right, you're getting close to 40%. Of course, if you add up all the left, you get probably something similar. Mélenchon is still up there hanging high. He's the far left candidate. So that's kind of the layout of the political situation in France. So there has been some pretty significant rise in the far right. And of course, there's some interesting poll that came out from BFM. BFM is an interesting TV channel here that's obviously supported by the government here. And of course, this is in French, but you can see where the issue is immigration and trop laxiste. So that's 63% think that France is too lax in terms of its immigration policy. Only 8% say it's too hard, and the rest are kind of in the middle and where it should be. Other issues here we looked at the favorable. When you add it all up together, people are more favorable about the far right rather, at nearly 71%. So that is pretty frightening poll for those on the left in France. Of course, France is a very socialist country. So that's perking a lot of eyes up. And of course, one of the issues is the potential Frexit. And 64% of French people believe that maybe it's time to reconsider the respecting of the regulations of the European and international regulations in France. So, and only 35 continue to support it. So if the vote ever came up, maybe a Frexit would be in the cards. What do you think? Take our online poll on the blog post, take a look at some of the resources, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hang on to your hats. The European situation is about to explode.